Hey, Chris Grove with you, back for another film review. Today we are doing Billy Jack from 1971. Billy Jack was directed by Tom Laughlin. Billy Jack stars Tom Laughlin as Billy Jack. Dolores Taylor as Jean Roberts. Teresa Kelly as Carol. Clark Howard as Sheriff Cole. Bert Freed as Stuart Posner. David Roya as Bernard Posner. And last but not least, Howard Hessman, yes, Dr. Johnny Fever himself from WKRP in Cincinnati as drama teacher number 2. Anyway, this movie is a 70s time capsule within itself. The plot is simple. It's about a former Green Beret, kind of like John Rambo, but he feels more like Steven Seagal copied him a little bit. And that would be the character of Billy Jack, played by Tom Laughlin. He's a former Green Beret, he's half Native American, so he's spiritual, and he's got a keen sense with nature, and he's also well adapted in martial arts, and can kick ass. And it's basically him protecting a school run by Dolores Taylor's character, Jean Roberts. And he kind of likes her, and they kind of get a thing going on, and they pretty much end up together, and they're actually husband and wife in real life, so there you go. That explains the chemistry. And they've done like 4 Billy Jack movies. This is actually a sequel. But anyway, the movie is plain simple. He basically is just protecting Jean's freedom school. She's the head mistress or master of a freedom school, or principal, if you will, which is a very unorthodox kind of hippy-dippy commune, kind of let's together, we don't really have a curriculum, you kind of do your own thing kind of school. Bunch of different kids, some of them are runaways, some of them are of different ethnic backgrounds, Native American, Black, Hispanic, white, everything. And somehow this liberal freedom school pisses off the town people. So every time they make a little field trip into town, they get harassed by the town people. And Billy Jack has to go kick their ass. And that's basically the plot of this movie. The real trouble starts with the local businessman named Posner, who's hunting wild stallions, wild Mustangs. Not Bill and Ted, but wild Mustangs. And so he's out there trying to hunt them and everything, and Billy Jack stops them, and they have to leave. But apparently they're hunting these wild Mustangs to turn them into dog food and sell them to the dog food market. And that's what's happening there. So they're a little pissed off. Posner and his crew are pissed off at Billy Jack, and likewise, they're definitely feuding and definitely at odds, especially when he goes after students at the school, at this freedom school. And it all starts with a pregnant runaway who comes back from somewhere in the liberal part of California. I think Berkeley, actually. Yeah, Berkeley. And, she's like, well, I balled so many guys, I don't know who the father is. And she tells her dad that. The dad's the sheriff's deputy. Now, the sheriff himself, played by Clark Howard, is actually really cool. Like, he's like an Andy Taylor type. But his deputy is no Barney Fife. I mean, his deputy is just a total asshole. And racist as all get out. And when his daughter tells him that, she doesn't know who the father is and she's pregnant, he just slaps the crap out of her, just beats the crap out of her. So they take her into the Freedom School after she goes to the hospital. They take her into the Freedom School. So at the Freedom School, she's there. The deputy wants her back, which creates friction between the school and the locals and Billy Jack. And it's just an interesting dynamic. It's a time capsule of a movie. Howard Hesseman is in there. He plays a drama teacher. And he's just at his hippie best. He looks like, Captain Kangaroo after a bender. But he's great. He's artsy fartsy. He's hippy dippy. He's tie-dye. And he was born to play this role when he's not playing Dr. Johnny Fever. So he's great at this. And that's Dr. Johnny Fever from WKRP in Cincinnati. Anyway, so this movie is, that's basically it. What can I say that's kind of awesome about it? It's 70s. It came out in 71. It's a kind of a vanity project from director and star Tom Laughlin. And again, he's like the prototype of Steven Seagal, but dare I say better than Steven Seagal. I mean, Steven Seagal was cool at one point, and then he beat up Kelly LeBrock, his wife, and she divorced him, and then he kind of gained weight, and apparently he can't get out of a chair to do any action scenes anymore. So I don't know what happened to Steven Seagal, but it looks like things are not going well for the man, and that's too bad. But he had a real, Steven Seagal has a real. See, I'm trying to be nice here. I'm trying to be nice to people, and I always kind of, I don't know. I'm always trying to bring out the best in people. But Steven Seagal, he fucked up. Okay, he just screwed up. He had a great career, and he let his ego get in the way, and karma get in the way, and then he just gained a bunch of weight and kind of gave up. If I ever get to interview the man, well, I guess we'll talk about it. I mean, I have no hate for him. I look at him and go, okay, you rose, you fell, what happened, So, I don't know. I wish him the best. I really wish him the best. But anyway, Tom Laughlin was definitely the inspiration, probably, for Steven Seagal. And Tom Laughlin is more true to his guns and his politics. And boy, this film is political. It's the late 60s, early 70s left against the squares. And the Freedom School represents the progressive movement, and the squares are the townspeople. And it takes place in what looks like possibly in northern Arizona. It snows there, so that's what it looks like to me. And they're just a bunch of rednecks. And the kids and the faculty at the school, at the Freedom School, are just, they're just hippies and progressives, and they basically, the whole curriculum is just do your own thing, which I don't know how do your own thing would jive in the real world, but it jives with this movie. I mean, do they have math at all? Do you have to take math there? Because if they didn't have to take math and you could still graduate and somehow get into college, that would be outstanding. But I have a feeling the school has a curriculum that put it into Fantasyland. So, yeah. And they sing songs, they do arts and crafts, and they sing a lot of songs about Billy Jack. Oh, Billy, I love you, Billy, oh yeah, And they do musical numbers, and they do improv, and Howard Hesseman does a wonderful improv with his other counterpart, which would be drama teacher number one, I guess. But Howard Hesseman's more famous. He should have been number one in this movie. And they kind of play off each other, and they're like, it's sort of like a driver's ed type skit they're doing, and they do a lot of skits in this. And even at one point, the sheriff joins in the fun. But it's always about being hassled by the man, and I'm token while I'm driving, and I probably shouldn't be token while I'm driving. And then the sheriff goes, hey, that looks like a fun skit. Can I join? Okay, cool. And so they have this kind of improv. They have a weird scene with the county commission and the school faculty, staff, and students. And it looks like your regular city council or county commission meeting where everyone's just arguing, and the commissioners are banging on the gavel, out of order, out of order, out of order, and that kind of thing. And then they say, well, why don't you come down to school and see what it's like? And they kind of come down, and a lot of them are like, well, you guys aren't so bad, and yada, yada, yada. So they kind of have a little moment of peace there. But still, there's Posner and his crew, and especially Posner's son, who's a piece of work. And his name is Bernard Posner, played by David Roya. And he looks like a young Richard Gere, but he just comes across like a total psycho. He's like, first of all, he's like, my name is Bernard Posner. And he's talking to one of the hippie chicks and trying to like hit on her. Like, I think she's one of the young teachers of the school. And she's just like, piss off, basically. So go pound bricks over here. You can pound sand, just get out, get away from me. And it's a weird dynamic that he has. And then, of course, Gene calls him Bernard. So Bernard, he refers to himself as Bernard Posner, and she's calling him Bernard, And there's a scene where he ends up sexually assaulting her, which leads Billy Jack to go out for vengeance. And he does go out for vengeance. And boy, is that vengeance swift and just and everything that we want to see in a movie like this. And he goes after the deputy and Posner's crew. And it kind of ends with sort of like a First Blood, First Rambo kind of. He's sort of holed up in a place and they're negotiating. And I'm just going to leave it there because I think it's a good place for me to stop. It's a good 70s time capsule that you should see. It's a lot of fun if you like that kind of thing. If you don't, then don't worry about it. But if you like this kind of thing, and this is done well. This is if you like kind of hippy-dippy, weird cult films of the 70s, but that make a political statement, this is your film. So definitely check it out. That's all I really have to say about this one. It's a culture clash, and I love those kind of movies. In a weird way, it reminds me of the first one I did this channel that I could probably do better, called Over the Edge. Matt Dillon's first movie. I didn't have any stills or any music or anything. It was like literally my first video, and not that I've become spectacular with my tech prowess at this moment, but at least I've gotten better. But that is, it reminds me of this movie. It reminds me of Over the Edge, but earlier in the 70s. So Over the Edge represents 79, this represents 71. In all its kind of still Vietnam latter stages going on, and Vietnam protesting and progressives and squares and all the stuff that you want in a movie like this. So from 1971, check out Billy Jack. Really good film. Again, with cult status. I'm Chris Grove. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. And life is not a problem to be solved, but a mystery to be lived, so live it. Catch you next time.